Now let's fully graph a problem here. The first thing we want to do is substitute 0 into the function. And if we find m of 0, in the numerator there's no x, so our numerator will just be -4, and our denominator 2 times 0 minus 5 is -5. That tells us that the y-intercept is 0, 4/5. Substitute 0 into the function to get the y-intercept. Maybe I'll label that as y-intercept. Then I look at the numerator, and the numerator, I set it equal to 0, and it is never 0. And that tells me there are no x-intercepts. I then look at the denominator. The denominator tells me about the vertical asymptotes, and I can see that x equals 5/2 will be a vertical asymptote. I then look at the degree of the numerator and the denominator, and it's got a higher degree in the denominator, denom, and that tells us that the horizontal asymptote is the x-axis, also known as y equals 0. Okay, that's a lot of information to plot here, so let's start one piece at a time. 0, 4/5 is our y-intercept. Okay, no x-intercept. Vertical asymptote at 5/2, that's 2.5. So here we go with our vertical asymptote. We're going to have a horizontal asymptote on the x-axis. And pretty much that's all I need, unless I want some extra points to flesh this thing out, which I will do for you. We're going to find, when we substitute a couple of extra points in, when we substitute 1 in, we get 4/3. That's 1 1/3, which is right about there. And you can see that our graph is going to come along and do this over there on the left, upper left. Notice we're going to be approaching those asymptotes. I want something on the right hand side, so I'm going to substitute in 4, and I find out that I get -4/3 as the output. So over here to 4, down 1 1/3, and that confirms my suspicion that the rest of our graph will be down in the bottom right corner. So there is the graph of our first rational function that we've graphed by hand.